What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Mind If I Crash podcast. Episode 41, I got to sit down and interview Cassidy Harris. She's a singer and songwriter out of Cleveland, Ohio. She has a great message, and I got to learn a lot of really cool things about her in this week's episode. Before we get started, a quick shout out to our sponsor, the Lip Bodega. This is actually a product I was using myself. I loved it, my daughter loves it, and through my love for this product, I ended up reaching out to the owner to see if I can use them as a sponsor. And this is 100% all natural lip balm. This is a product that I endorse 100%. I know it to be all natural because I've watched the owner make it. Great owner, great company. If you're interested in this is a Cleveland-based product. You guys can DM on Instagram. I'll drop the handle below. DM, get you the Lip Bodega lip balm. You're not going to regret it. Tell them Tristan sent you. Let's get into this week's episode.
All right, Cassidy. So thank you for coming on. We have been talking about this for about a year now, so it's nice to see it kind of finally happen and come together. Before we kind of get started with everything, I just want to say it is cool to kind of see where you were when the conversation started, see where you're at now. And going back to the beginning, when did your passion for music start? When did that begin?
As early as I can remember, probably when I was 4 years old.
So young, very young.
Very young. Do you remember like the time when cars had cassette tape
Oh,
players
absolutely.
in them? Yes.
Yeah.
So my mom, she had like a little Disney princess one, and I just
Love that.
started singing those songs from as early as I can remember, like probably 4 years old. And then I also had one of those little recorder things with the microphones on the end.
So you could hear yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I
wow.
just, that was like when it started. Like,
Loving
4
performing,
years
loving
old.
singing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But there was like a time where, and everything Disney, especially the Disney movies, we got to grow up during like probably the golden era for that.
For sure.
Wanted to be in Peter Pan, ended up being in the play as a kid. So I get that, the love for performing. Now, were you in like, I guess throughout school, were you in choir? Were you in anything music related, or were you more independent and just practicing in your own lane?
No, actually, I never did choir. Unless it was like mandatory.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Junior high, they used to make you, for sure.
I don't think I ever actually was in choir, but I never did musicals or anything like that. I always did talent shows though.
Okay, so you were still setting up and performing there?
Yeah.
Singing?
Singing. And
okay.
In elementary school it was more, I think, dancing, but middle school and high school was always singing.
So that's like the full package. Now, are you coming up with the act yourself, everything, choreograph, all that?
Yeah. I mean, for the singing, it was usually a slower song, so I would just kind of stand there. But
yeah,
when I did the dancing stuff in elementary school, we always made up our own little dances and
those
stuff.
are always fun. I know some girls that are your friends that did that in Amherst too.
Really?
So yeah, I remember it. Now, what would you say for like inspiration when you were young? What did you look up to? What were the artists or performers that you loved most?
Honestly, it started off with, I don't know, back in, the 90s times, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Love Britney.
Love the boy bands, all of those. That's mainly where it started. And
yeah, pop. So
yeah,
the pop influence that the
yeah.
90s had the 90s in a chokehold, to be honest. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah,
loved it.
Favorite. And then
Definitely.
It kind of just progressed to like Avril Lavigne, a lot of Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah.
And like the pop girls, a lot of that stuff. And then girl groups from like the Pussycat Dolls to like Destiny's Child, and it just as time went on, it was always changing.
Progressed,
I like a variety. So.
I like that. That's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously inspiration plays a huge part as a kid. I think that kind of forms what path we go, not just with our hobbies, but also our career as a child. There was a point where you decided, I do want to take this serious. I want to pursue this. How old were you when that happened?
It's always something I wanted to do, but like the talent shows were, again, one of those things where I was like, this is me taking it serious, and hopefully I'd continue to do this. And then I think around 13 is when I started actually writing my own songs. And
so that's still very young.
I took guitar lessons when I was 12 for a short period of time. My mom and dad didn't think I was that into it, I guess. I don't really remember not being into it. I probably would take it more seriously now, but I was probably, 12 at the time. But I took lessons for a little bit, and then I just started playing things by ear, pretty much.
Wow.
So I can play things by ear that I've learned, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know how to read music at all.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember like the names of some of the chords I learned. I just remember what they sound like, and if I could hear it, I could play it, but nothing too crazy.
Is somewhat more impressive in its own way. I mean, to not know how to read music and still be able to make and produce something is definitely incredible. Did anyone ever notice your talent at a young age and say, "Yo, this is potentially something that you can make happen"?
I mean, my family, they always believed in me. Even friends always knew I sang a lot, and they always had faith that I would go somewhere.
Be able to make something happen.
Yeah, it's just a tough industry to get into, but I've never given it up, so it's just
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, you have definitely stayed busy since, the time you did make that first jump. Have you ever gotten a nod or anyone from famous or, semi-famous people in the industry?
Yes. So actually, me and my sisters, we all sing, but
Got it. So it's a family thing.
yeah, so we all used to do covers on YouTube a lot, and a lot of those started blowing up, but after a while we stopped doing them just because we all have our own lives. And my one sister moved across the country, and it's just kind of hard to get our schedules to line up and do something we all want to do that we're passionate about. But we did do a Demi Lovato cover one time that went pretty viral on YouTube, and I actually got a message on Instagram randomly from like some random girl, and her account was private. I had no idea who it was. And the message basically said, "Hey, we really want you to be in Demi Lovato's upcoming documentary. Could you message us back and let us know?" And I read it, and I was like, I don't think this is real. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know you, But I said, I was like, you know what? If this is serious, just email my manager. Well, I didn't have a manager. My dad, I just gave them my dad's email pretty much. So my dad looked over all the documentation and stuff that they sent over, and he was like, "No, this is legit. You just have to, sign a couple things, and you and your sisters will be in it, and you'll even be in the credits too." So it's on YouTube. It's called Simply Complicated. We're at the very end, but she took clips from fans that covered that same song
and then put it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll drop a clip to it there so you guys can see that. But that's awesome. So you did end up going through with it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was really cool, and I never talked to Demi or anything herself, but they said that she really liked us, and they were just wanted us to be a part of it. So I was like, that's really cool. And then I did a cover like of Iggy Azalea one time, like very short one, and she told me great job on Twitter. And
you met Iggy though before, haven't you? I thought at least once. I know that's definitely someone still, that you do find a lot of inspiration from.
I love her. Yeah,
Iggy's awesome. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
She gets a lot of hate, but she's so nice.
I've never understood that. I've never understood the hate. It's tough in the industry, like you said. It's tough for females in the industry. I feel like very judgmental. There's a lot of apparent, like, people think there's a lot of room for like critiquing and putting in their input, which at the end of the day, we're all just trying to pursue something, whatever that may be.
And I feel like she's just different and doesn't sound like something you hear every day. So that's why I like her personally, but to each is their own.
Yeah. She's definitely a unique person. Overall, I have never had anything bad to say about her, so I get it.
Love that.
I never knew about the YouTube covers though. I'll definitely look it up. Are those still on YouTube?
Yeah, it's under the Harris sisters. That was our channel. But,
okay.
But we haven't posted in a while just because
life's going on.
Life's going on. Yeah.
I get that.
But I still I could do more covers. Honestly, I just have to make the time to do it, and life gets busy, so
I get it, definitely. Now, kind of going towards the performing, because I know you have been very busy as of lately with performing. It seems like it's almost every weekend, which is certainly what you want. What was your first performance? How did you find it? What led to that becoming a thing?
So I've done like little side gigs and performances with my cousin's husband's band before, but as far as like stuff that I've done by myself, my friend Dan, he goes by Young Cap. He's a local rapper in Cleveland, and he partners with this group that kind of books local artists around here. So he usually asks me if like, hey, do you want to hop on this show? And if you do, just let me know, and we can get it going and sell tickets.
That's nice then.
Mm-hmm.
And that was now. I want to say a few weeks back, I did see that you were doing almost like a bracket. It was like elimination. Is that something you're referring to?
Oh, that was kind of random. That was with West Side Studios. I think it was just for fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are always cool, especially in Cleveland. Where,
I didn't even know it was happening until I was like tagged in it. So
you said, "I guess I'm doing this now."
Oh, cool.
No, I mean that certainly can happen too.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Obviously, you like performing, but do you like everything that kind of leads up to the day of a performance?
Yeah, I always try to get the word out there as best I can.
Yeah.
It is kind of hard selling tickets though, especially when you have
Promoting for
back-to-back
yourself.
shows. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you have supporters, but at the same time, it's hard. It's hard back-to-back because you have a group that'll come one week, and it's like trying to get another group to come the next weekend.
Exactly.
And it's just.
It's hard.
It's difficult, and ticket sales are tough sometimes because it basically it kind of determines where you're going to be at in the show, like if you're going to go earlier or later. So do you want to have a slot where most people you think are going to be there, or are you going to be there when people aren't there yet? Or I always try to get the best time slot because
absolutely
I want people obviously to see my stuff. Yeah.
So that's interesting. I guess I never knew that. Similar to comedy, then, if you have tickets, the pre-sale tickets are a very big thing. Then that's something I guess we should all know. Then, when looking to support friends or support someone that's up and coming, buying pre-sale tickets is a major thing as opposed to buying at the door.
They'll give us promo codes and stuff sometimes, so I try to like really push people like, hey, if you want like half off on this, like get it now, or otherwise you can get them later or get them at the door, but they're gonna be more expensive or full
That's
price.
good to know. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I would never know that. That depending on that, it determines how valuable you are also to potential labels, people coming in. They want to see how much traction you actually have, because followers are one thing, how many people can you actually bring out is another. So that's definitely important.
Yeah, and it's definitely hard sometimes because people always say they will, and then
sometimes
they will, and sometimes they won't, or they'll be like, I'll get the next one, and then
right. So. Now, kind of going into getting on stage, do you have any rituals like beforehand, like today is the night that I have an event, I do this? Like, is there anything that you do? I know, obviously, making sure that, your voice, everything is as good as it can be leading up to that is very important. But do you yourself have a specific route you take each day you're going to be performing?
I basically just, again, get the word out on Instagram or something. If people last minute want to come, I'll let them know on there. As far as any pre-rituals, not really. I pray beforehand, going into it.
That's good. Yeah, that's definitely worth noting.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm nervous, I'll be like, okay, like let me do a shot real quick. I don't need a drink to go on stage, but I need to loosen some nerves a little bit.
Definitely.
So
I can respect that.
Yeah, it's
good.
I feel like bigger crowds aren't as intimidating.
Than a smaller crowd, really?
Yeah, it's more intimate when it's a smaller crowd. And I feel like it's more awkward.
With a smaller, depending on the energy that you bring or that crowd has, it can go one way or the other quick with a small crowd.
Yeah.
I get that. Now, kind of feeding off the crowd, you get out there, you get on stage. To me, that would be the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. The first time you did it, how were you feeling in that moment?
I was a little nervous, but again, more so excited because I was actually performing original music that I've written. And I've always wanted to do that. Like, that's just always been a goal of mine. Even if I never made it famous or anything, the biggest thing I've always said in life is, as long as I can perform stuff I've made for people, like, I will be satisfied.
I love that. No, that's definitely, it's staying true to you, which is very important. Is that potentially also a reason maybe you've taken a step back from doing covers? Focus on your original music more? Yeah,
I could make, time for both, more so both of those things, but I gotta stop saying I'm going to and just do it.
I get that. No, I get it. Absolutely.
This last year was crazy. I switched careers and just a lot has been going on. Moved in my own place, so I'm just finally getting settled and hopefully can get back into the grind and
do your thing.
Making music. Definitely.
Now, when it comes to making music, do you have, particular things that you'll draw inspiration from when writing your music? Where do you, because for me, I feel like you make music for hot girls, like you make that hot girl music. Where do you pull your inspiration from? Is it things that you've lived through? Is it situations you see? What is that?
A lot of it, yeah, is a lot of it's personal experience. My one song, Girls Night Out, is really fun. It's definitely a hot girl song.
I know. I see people using it on TikTok. I'm like, they don't even know her. They're using the sound. I like that.
But that one was just kind of random. I didn't really have much inspiration from that other than like I go downtown a lot and I like to dance and
capturing life. Yeah.
And sometimes you just like time with your girlfriends and you don't think about guys or whatever. Like it's just, but all my other music is a lot of personal, like heartbreak type of stuff, personal experiences. And I usually need some sort of experience to help me write something.
So that it's a true feeling.
Yeah. And I'll try to, write from other people's perspectives. If I hear like a story or something, I'll try to get inspired by that. But I feel like my best work comes from personal experiences.
Stuff that you've lived through. Definitely. They say that, and it's weird that the mind works this way. The mind is most creative when reflecting on periods of like heartbreak or anger, which is wild. That's when it's its most creative. So that's where I feel like the heartbreak songs or, sad songs are typically the most out there and most creative. Do you find that to be true?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And I just feel like I like to help other people too who are going through the same things that can relate. I love when they listen to my stuff and feel like they can relate in some way.
And you know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the artist in you. I do like that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we have that. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. All right, so you told me something while we were on this break, and we maybe thought it was better to just finish the conversation while on air. So the reason you started taking guitar lessons.
Yeah, so the movie Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
Great movie.
That immediately I was inspired. I was like, I want to be in a band and play the guitar.
Punk rock.
And even Avril Lavigne, her playing the guitar, like that inspired me heavily.
Yeah, it was definitely a vibe for sure.
We used to have badminton rackets at the house.
That was your guitar?
That was my guitar.
Love that.
And my parents, they saw me using that a lot, and they were like, okay, let's get her a
Maybe
guitar.
she wants to do it.
So I got a guitar for Christmas, and it was the last present I opened. Didn't know I was getting a guitar. That was the first time I ever cried tears of happiness.
Was it on the list or was it a surprise gift?
It was a surprise gift.
So it caught you off guard then.
So then it was like lessons were the next thing to come, and yeah, I was thrown off guard, but I was like, I remember feeling so
That's
weird.
Cute,
like,
though.
Oh my gosh, like this is happening.
She's gonna be. Avril Lavigne was a major inspiration to like so many like girls that I was friends with when I was a kid. So it is cute to kind of look back on that. And now, obviously, she's back kind of in the media because she's dating Tyga. She was probably already in the media, but like I, as a man, have not seen anything Avril Lavigne related in a really long time.
I saw her when she had that show with MGK.
In Cleveland, that is right. Okay, so yeah, let me be fair. As an artist, like I do remember her coming to do that. And I would have loved to see that. Was it good?
It was really exciting because I was like, I looked up to her for so long.
Oh, she's awesome.
In my early days, and like it was really cool to see her live, and then like in Cleveland too, with MGK
great show
opening for his hometown, so that was pretty awesome.
Who else was there? Was Blink-182 there?
No, it was
Avril Lavigne.
Oh my gosh,
MGK.
why can't I think of his name right now?
Travis Barker, maybe. From Blink-182.
I think he was there, but no, there was another rapper. Why can't I think of his name?
It was a big show. He's
in a song Candy with MGK. I can't think of who it is though.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna ruin me too.
It's gonna make me so mad when I think about it later.
Because I can picture the music video too. Yeah, that's awful.
But I was so confused because I feel like the bigger artists go last, so I would have thought Avril Lavigne would have been like before MGK, but they had this guy go. She was like, oh, it was Willow Smith that was first.
Oh, like her too. I really like Willow.
Yeah, and then it was Avril, and then can't think of his name.
Yeah.
And then MGK.
Whoever the guy is.
It's gonna make me so mad.
So yeah, that would make sense. So Avril went after MGK, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, or no, I'm sorry. She went before MGK, but the other guy went after Avril, and
you thought she would, because she.
And
is
I was like,
huge.
she's been huge for years, and like this guy, I've
because we clearly can't even think of his name.
I'm pulling up his name right now. 1 second.
No, yeah, because it's going to bother both of us.
It's going to bother me if I don't.
And I know the song.
Oh my gosh. Trippie Redd.
Trippie Redd. Yeah, no, she 100% should have been after Trippie. She should have been like the co-headliner.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so weird. But I get it.
I mean, she was there though. She killed it. So
Good. Yeah,
cool.
that's always cool.
Fun show regardless. I felt bad though, because like the time she went, the crowd's still coming in, and I'm like, she's too big to like have this, type of crowd. Like she deserves more energy.
So crowd.
She
right.
deserves more than this.
I can respect that. Now, I know that you are on the path to trying to be musically involved with the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Just consistently posting. That is probably like one of the best ways to market the way you're doing it right now. Where did that come from? Where did that idea, like, hey, this is something I want to do, but also I'm gonna market it this way? Mm-hmm. How did you kind of come up with that thought?
Well, I've always really loved football, and I love hyping up the halftime show every year, no matter who it is.
It's a huge deal.
It is a big deal. It's always cool to dream to host the halftime show, but it's very small, so I would love to just be involved somehow, whether it's like be somebody's background singer or something, even just like even if like somebody does a pre-show or something beforehand, I would love to somehow be involved with it, because people do it. I actually knew somebody that actually danced in Rihanna's this year, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like I want that to be me.
Absolutely.
In a different way, but yeah. So the Eagles, my favorite team, were in the Super Bowl this year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make this. I need to make this happen at some point, or at least attempt to. So I told myself I was going to start posting every day and kind of try to promote it, but that was getting kind of like repetitive and exhausting. I was trying to just thinking of new ideas every day is kind of like hard. So I decided to just keep it, to Sundays. I have to do today's still. Got to remind myself.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, keep it to Sundays because, football's on Sundays and counting down the Sundays till the Super Bowl. So
that's a good marketing strategy.
Market it until then and see what comes out of it.
Good. And obviously,
doesn't hurt to try. So
absolutely, that's one thing I think we all should probably do more, just as individuals. Mm-hmm. The things we want to accomplish, we will never accomplish if we don't try. So
right.
I love that. And there is so many different avenues that if you continue to do it, you'll get there, which is nice. It's nice to know that you continue to put that kind of footwork in. I know I kind of started steering right when we were talking about your first event, but you did tell me who hosted that first event. How was that?
It was really fun. So the first actual show I performed by myself was at the Odeon in the Flats, and that was
beautiful over there.
That was a pretty big night for your first show. I mean, there was like a lot of people there. It was 90s night, so I did some original music, but it was also like I did a couple 90s covers, like Christina and No Scrubs by TLC. That was good. That's a vibe.
TLC Creep still makes its way into my truck sometimes.
Right.
No one's around, of course, but I just admitted that to you. I don't know why.
That's okay. No,
definitely
shame.
Good choice. I love that. So like afterwards, is it something where like I'm sure that feeling is next to none after you get done performing? Do you go try to make your way back out afterwards? Like what do you do after your shows? Do you enjoy the night? Do you call it a night? What do you like to do?
I like to stick around to support my friends that are also performing, especially my one friend that gets me a lot of the gigs, because he usually performs at them as well, and I want to obviously show my support in return.
Definitely.
Support's very important for your friends. But like if my friends are out with me, we'll usually just go out after or something. I like to keep the night with some high energy. So
good. And you did say something that is very important. Supporting our friends is super important, whether it's sharing something, just words of encouragement, whatever that might be. But especially when you are actively creating something, especially something original, what would be something that you would say is the best way to support you if you were just talking to the masses here? What would be a good way to show support but also help you continue doing what you're doing?
Honestly, just spreading the word. Honestly, I mean, like, I don't expect every person to come to every single show. Life happens. I understand, and nobody owes me anything. I'm not gonna be mad if you can't come to every single one. It is tough when you have people that say like, "Oh, I can't make it. I'll make it to the next one," and you've had like 6 shows and they still haven't been to one.
What's going on?
Yeah. I think I think just spreading the word, honestly, it's special to me because it's just helping me get the word out there for people who are potentially interested. But some people that I'm close with, like, don't even do that. There are a lot that do. But I do get, like, upset sometimes when there's those people that don't, because I'm like, even if you can't come, like, can you just share it?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know, I find myself supporting, like, a lot of my other friends' small businesses and
Absolutely.
their passions, and I think that's important. Even, like, when you and Rebecca did this podcast, I, just simple share.
Which
like,
is nice. It helps.
I don't care about blowing up my stories and annoying people. Like, even if 50 people skip through
Yep.
it, one might see it and be like, sure, I might tune into this. Like,
It does make a big difference, and it makes other creators feel seen as well, which at the end of the day, you're just asking, can I get that as well?
yeah.
I do know that from the people that we have as mutual friends, they are a great support group. How big is your support group to you?
It's very big, I think.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate everybody that even just sends me, like, a good luck text or you did great. I tried watching it from online. I actually have a friend that I've never met in Pennsylvania. We're both Iggy fans.
Love that.
We met through Twitter, like, just being
Iggy
Iggy
stans,
fans.
yeah.
Iggy stans. And he actually, it was really nice. He bought a ticket for me for my show, and he's like, I obviously can't be there, but I would love if you gave it to someone and, like, had somebody come out for you on my behalf. And I thought that was really cool. And then
That's a real one.
Yeah. And I had another friend actually from high school that I ran into on St. Patrick's Day who was like, we were catching up because we hadn't seen each other since high school for like 10 years, and we didn't really talk in high school or anything. We weren't really friends, but we were always, like, acquaintances, I guess. But we were talking, and he was like, yeah, I hear you do music stuff, and I would love to come to a show. And I'm like, sure, like, I'll let you know when the next one is. I told him, and he came all the way from Huron to Cleveland Heights by himself, right on time, right when the doors open, to come support me. And I thought that was really sweet.
I was like,
what a gem.
That is a gem. Good
like,
for him. Love that.
It's like, you just earned points.
I hope you're listening to this, dude. No, I think that's cute. And at the same token, it's very important. I know that I always appreciate it. It is nice. I was kind of just, I tend to reflect on what this is, what this show means to me, and the conversations I have with guests just like yourself. And it is the good with the bad. Sometimes I do look at the group that I have and sometimes have to kind of value, are people maybe here for the right reasons? Is there bad intention? Is there people that are just maybe kind of hoping this crashes and burns?
Right. There's definitely those people.
So you do feel like you have that, I'm not saying I need names, but you do feel that. And that's all energy.
Yeah. And even my sister, like, she will do music covers when she can or feels like it, but she's not, doing as much as I am right now as far as, like, shows and stuff, but she has said to me from time to time, I just feel like there's those people that don't want me to succeed. And I'm like, it's tough, but you just, even if it's people you think are close to you, but at the end of the day, you just have to focus on, I guess, who's there and who is supporting.
The people that are there.
Because it's those people where if you get famous, you're coming to the after party.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're
sit
gonna
in the
be,
sections after.
You get the, reward here.
and I can agree with you 100%. Both you and your sister make good points. I mean, it's weird because unless the people in your circle, if they're just your friends because they're your friends and not because you guys have met along this path of creation, they sometimes just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And they might, they can always think all the thoughts. This takes away from time that we could have, or this is dumb. Why do you do this? There are so many reasons to why people might have negative feelings towards people pursuing them. But the ones that are there, are there unconditionally and are there because they just want to see you succeed, which is very important.
Definitely. And there's sometimes I feel like, I don't know if people are just not paying close attention or like I said, nobody owes me anything. I'm not like, expecting anything of people, but I've had people that have said, like, you gotta, like, let me know when your next shows, and I'm like, I've been posting this for like a month. I know you're looking, unless you're really just skipping through it.
Just click,
which some of us do, but I don't know, I try to pay attention to at least what my close friends are doing, and when we catch up, I'll be like, how was this? I saw you doing this or whatever.
Because you're interested.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right. Now, going into like, you said whenever you're famous, they come to the after parties. A big part of that is whether you make the route to, potentially sign to a label in the future if you aren't already, or kind of stay unsigned and manage yourself. What do you want to do in that regard? Have you given it much thought? Are you kind of open to options?
I'm definitely open to options, but the more, I've been listening to a lot of artists talk lately about being signed to a record label and how it's kind of backfired for them. I feel like I'm hearing a lot more of it now. Like
I
that
do
TikTok
too.
is a thing and people are just very vocal on there. A lot of them have talked about how it's just hard not having their own creative control, and the label wants me to put this as a single, or but I don't feel that that's my best work, or I don't feel that people will love it, or I don't know. I personally am stubborn, and if I make something and I want it to be a single, like that's what I want.
It's going to be a
Yeah,
single.
that's how I want it to be. I love everything I make, obviously, but
There's certain
I
ones that
don't know
come time
how I
and a
would
place.
feel if I didn't have that like 100% creative control. But I love independent artists that are just going from being with a label to their own independent thing. That's what Iggy did too.
Yeah, and it's tough to break the chains of a label. I mean, it's very, very tough.
Right.
She was a major label, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And she did a lot of like, Fancy was a really big record, and
Huge.
yeah, very huge. It broke a Beatles record, actually.
That's insane.
It's wild. But, that for a while, I remember she was with Def Jam, and they were kind of like, she had this whole project she was going to put out, and they were basically withholding it because she was getting a lot of hate, and they were like
trying to strong arm
yeah,
her and not releasing.
She was kind of like putting them on blast, I remember, and then she eventually, I think, went to another label, and then eventually just did her own thing, because at the end of the day, you just got to do what's
best for you.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Definitely.
I wouldn't want to make all this work and then not put it out. I think she ended up leaking it all, which I was so happy about as a fan, because I was like, I've been waiting for this. You know what I mean?
For who knows how long.
Right.
Definitely. And to be honest, I am in no way affiliated with the music industry at all, but I do hear about it all the time. I mean, there have been rappers that have literally made songs claiming to have no label because the restrictions, you essentially are getting a sign-on bonus to then have them creating and deciding what you put out, when you put it out, and then eventually what music you'll make, what you sing, what you don't do. So for sure, I can agree with that. Yeah. Right now, you do have the full control of performing where you want to, recording what you want to. That's a nice flexible thing to have right now. So I can understand where you're coming from. And I don't think
anybody should be forced to be put in a box. Like, I am somebody who, I've always had a variety, as far as music taste. My taste has just been all over the place as far as music.
Gives you options, though. That's not a bad thing.
And I want to make songs that are different types of genres. So like, I want to make a rock song. I want even a country song, maybe, or I want to make a house song too. Like, there's just a lot of different creative zones I want to be in. And I think as an artist, you should be able to have that freedom to create whatever you want.
Because you are an artist at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Creativity is the most important
I don't want someone to tell me you should only make this, because that's not going to make me happy. And I'm not going to, I'm going to do what I want to do as far as what I want to make. So.
It's wild how, like, just us as humans, sometimes when we're told we can't or have to do something, how much we end up not enjoying it right there on the spot, almost immediate sometimes.
Right.
I can get that for sure. A country music by Cassidy, though, one day.
I just started getting into country a lot more, but
yeah, no, I like that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything. I performed at Rockin' on the River last summer with my cousin's husband's band, Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip, for those who don't know. But that was really fun show. That was probably the most people I performed in front of.
Yeah, that's right there. That's a huge crowd. Yeah, and you can see them all the time.
That was more like rock style music, and I was like, I need to make a rock song.
Yeah, those are cool guys too that you're up there with. I've seen some clips.
Yeah,
they look awesome.
Very talented. With the guitar too. Love it all. All the vibes.
No, being with the band is definitely cool. Is that something that you would want to do one day? Is have a full group? What do you want for that?
Again, I'm open to it, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm happy by myself. But I mean, performing with my sisters was fun too, because we there's a couple songs we've all made together, and you
just get it sometimes with your sisters.
And we've really bonded over that, and I think we have a beautiful 3-part harmony. And my parents always tell us that all the time. You guys have like this beautiful harmony. You need to do more things together. It's hard now.
Supportive parents,
but yeah,
we love that.
Love them. Shout out Anita and Tim. Love y'all. but yeah, my sisters are very talented, and I loved creating with them. But I also, you also butt heads as far as
definitely.
like what interests you wanna. All your interests can be different, and as far as what direction you want to take.
Especially in just when you put it under the lens of one song, you got 3 talented and creative brains. There certainly can be some paths crossed there, for sure.
Of course. We did a couple. We tried out for a couple, like, X Factor back in the day. America's Got Talent.
The shows.
They reached out to us for that.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that process look?
So they saw one of our YouTube covers, and someone had reached out and asked, like, hey, we want you, we were interested in this. We want you to, audition for the show, but we'll have you skip the first couple rounds. So
that's nice. So I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. I guess you can like opt out of some rounds and end up, I don't know how many rounds they have before you make it on TV.
Right.
But they had us, I think it was at I don't know what building that is downtown, the convention center. I don't know what it was, but they had us down there, and it was just, we had the audition that day, but they had us sing like 4 songs, but we never, heard anything. I remember the X Factor audition. The lady was like, "Oh, you're really good, but you sound too much like so and so." Or we're looking for.
Ooh, that would irk me, getting compared to someone else.
We're looking for people to be original, but then you see people on TV who are just terrible, and that's just all for ratings.
Yeah, I immediately go to like the "Too Sexy for My Shirt" guy on American Idol back in the day, and I still never understood. I think it's American Idol, but like how he made it on TV is beyond me.
Yeah,
it's
It's always hard, and it's always hard to hear when people are like, "Oh, we like you, but," or "You sound too much like so and so," or whatever.
Yeah, the comparison of "but" is never been used in a good sentence. Because
I don't feel like I wouldn't. Sure, there's people that I guess influence me, but I don't think I sound like anybody. I couldn't pick someone that I think I would sound like. I mean, me personally, I don't know, but oh yeah, and then I just thought of I was on TikTok live the other day in Timbaland.
Oh yeah. I saw you tweet about that.
He does this thing called Timba Idol, which is like his own
a
version
live
of
version.
American Idol, and he has people come on and play their original music, and he either shuts it down real quick or he likes you and follows you and is like, "Message me your music because we're gonna make something happen here." Well, I played him "Girls Night Out," which is like the song I've gotten the best feedback from, and he didn't like it at all.
Timbaland, he's good in a certain crowd. Yeah,
yeah,
he definitely knows what to do. He's a producer now, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
And I love like all of his producing stuff. I've considered going back on and joining again, playing something else just to
give him another.
Because I don't know, I make different sounding things, and he liked a lot of more of, I feel like, girls that sound like Summer Walker. It's slower, kind of. I don't know. Girls
I like
Night
Summer
Out's
Walker
a little
too.
Yeah,
but I
cool.
get maybe where he. Maybe it wasn't his speed, because the song itself is a good song. It's done well.
Thank you.
People are using the sound, that's always a good sign.
And it was no hard feelings or anything. It's just probably not, everybody's like, it's it doesn't have to be for you. Kid Cudi's producer, or one of his producers that he's worked with, Dr. Genius, has told me I've sounded really good, and I think that's really cool.
Really? So how did you two meet? Is he a Cleveland guy?
I don't know if he's from Cleveland. I'm not entirely sure. We've never met or anything. I just kind of sometimes will send my music to
bounce
random
ideas.
Producer.
That was just smart. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or just whatever. Like, it doesn't hurt to put, I don't want to be that person that's like annoying and be like, listen to my stuff. Because people do that all the time. But, he works with, or he's worked with a girl that I listened to, and I think I had messaged him saying like, I'm looking forward to hearing this. It sounds really good from what I've heard so far, and then I kind of sent him some of my stuff and was like, I also make music, and
I like that.
Yeah,
perfect.
That was cool. It's always good to hear feedback, and
even the negative though. Do you feel like that's not bad to take? I get so mad when someone critiques me, but I don't know. Maybe that's
it depends what place it comes from. Like if I should have asked Timbaland, what about it did you not like I like constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a lot of people were asking him that for feedback, and he would be like, he wouldn't say. And I don't know if it was just because
He's maybe hurt someone's feelings in the past or something.
I don't know. And I a lot of people, I also might have felt like he was just reading the comments and being like, making his, determining how he felt about the song based on the comments, because people were ripping me up in the comments.
People are they're ruthless on
They
TikTok.
are
They're
ruthless.
terrible. It's awful.
But I just laugh about it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I've had more positive feedback over it than negative. So.
Than negative, definitely.
Yeah.
That's always good. Now, in the next, say, year or so, what are some things that you're going to try to accomplish? Do you have plans for the next, say, 12 months?
Yeah, so I'm doing Rockin' on the River again with my cousin's husband's band.
And when is that? Do you know what date?
It's I think it's the last show in September.
Okay. I'll drop the date down if we have it available.
Yeah, I know they released the dates. I just don't know at the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's with them. They're opening for the band that's doing the cover Metallica band.
Oh yeah.
Which is what they did last year.
That was a huge turnout last year. I remember that weekend.
Yeah, it was really fun. So he had asked me if I wanted to do that again, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm down. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And I always like singing with them. It's always a really fun time. But other than that, I know I have a show in July at the Foundry in Lakewood that I just booked.
The Foundry's amazing. I love the Foundry.
I've never sang there, but I just take what I can get. If somebody asks me, I'm like, I'm always down to perform. As far as like plans to make music, I need to make more original music. The last song I put out by myself was last January. It's been a long time, but this last year was kind of crazy and hectic for me. Switched careers, a lot of changes. So, and I don't know how to make my own music. My friend Xavier mixes all my music and records
I've seen you
me.
come out with him before. I've seen him.
Yeah, he's very talented. He just mixes it and records me on his laptop and does all that, and because I don't know how to do it, he's always known or taught himself.
So all of that music is made on his laptop?
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive, because your music does sound like it's well produced. I mean, I'm not saying a laptop can't do that, but that's very cool to know.
He uses this program. I don't remember at the top of my head what it's called, but I'll usually find a beat that I like on YouTube or something maybe, and he will record my vocals and mix the vocals, and I'll just tell him where to place things. So, I don't know all the terminology as far as like
there's so much producer lingo.
I'll be like, I want more echo right here, and I'll like say how I want it to sound,
and he can do it,
and he'll just do it, and he'll be like, oh, you want reverb or whatever, or he'll just use whatever term it is.
Yep,
and I'm
that's
like,
your dude.
That's what it is, and and he's just very passionate about it, and he just does it for free, and I really appreciate that, because friends help each other out, and I always, just try to thank him and support whatever he does too, because, studios around here, charge you sometimes, and I don't just have money to throw away sometimes.
Studio time is insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Insane. And it's not, I've had people ask me like, do you want to record with me or come to the studio? And like, I'm down. It's just, I don't have, like, I have bills to pay. I don't have all this extra money for
$250 an hour it costs to record at the studio.
And some people will do that because, there's people who just are like, this is what I want to do, and they'll up and move and invest everything, and that's great if you do. But I'm like one of those people that's like, I would be too scared. I would be broke and not have anything. And
you are still doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm making it work in my
own
own ways. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm open to recording with people. It's just, that's always kind of a downfall, but I do what I can. And I shout out Xavier. I always appreciate it. So
that's fascinating to me. We're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, there are some questions I want to ask you, just as far as the production while you're there in a studio, or simply just with Xavier, how that goes. So we'll be right back, guys. Just a sec. As someone who is a creator but also a consumer when it comes to music, do you have anyone who would be a dream collaboration? Anyone you would want to work with on a main level?
Yeah, I really love what Miley Cyrus is doing right now.
Great album she dropped this year.
Yes, even the one before that, Plastic Hearts.
I think
amazing. She just has the voice for that style. Like she's come a long way, but she's done a lot of things that are just all over the place,
which is kind of cool though.
Yeah, and I appreciate artists like that. Taylor Swift, I love her. She's her songwriting is incredible, I think.
She's on tour right now. I've got a buddy that's going to her concert in Nashville.
So jealous. So jealous.
The tickets were crazy, though. I know you saw. Okay.
Insane.
Okay.
I really like NF. He's a rapper. I think he's really underrated. He's still, I don't want to say he's like fairly new. He's not really that new, but I feel like he's the last couple of years he's been blowing up.
Yeah, he's in one of the, I think like UFC. He's in one of the video games, one of the sport video games.
Oh yeah,
I know who he is.
Yeah,
people that love him, and he is good. I think overall. Yeah,
he's really good, and I just like that he talks about real things and emotions and experiences rather than just typical
sipping lean and going to the club.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is he doesn't curse in any of his music. Like he doesn't. Not at all. And like
it's still catchy. Yeah,
it's so cool that he doesn't have to use that as like a filler word, because a lot of people just,
for sure,
I mean, no judgment to people who curse, a lot of us do it, but like, you know, I just think that's kind of cool that he just doesn't do that. But I really like Neomza too. She's a smaller artist. I actually met her when I went to visit a friend in LA, and I didn't know she was a music artist, but she was the first artist I believe Mac Miller signed to his label.
Wow.
And I went to go visit a friend out in LA that actually I was dating this guy at the time, and his roommate was dating this girl, and once we both broke up with our exes, she moved to California and was like, "Hey, do you want to come out and visit?" And I was like, "Sure, like that'd be cool. I don't really know you that well, but like I've never been, like that'd be a cool experience." So I went there. Met her and some people she was, living with at the time. And this girl was with us in the car one day, and she was like, "Oh, that's Neomza. She was signed to Mac Miller's label." And I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool. I've never heard of her." But it was like he found her on YouTube, and
that's like the best way to get discovered.
And like took her under his wing, and I thought that was so cool when I heard that before he had passed, which is like, really unfortunate and sad, but on my flight home, I listened to her project, and I immediately was like, she's going to be one of my new favorite artists. And I love everything she puts out to this day. She also really inspires me, even though not too many people know her, but I think she's really talented.
Someone you would definitely want to work with.
Oh, for sure.
I like that.
And
cool.
Her name is spelled Njomza for if people want to check her out. It's pronounced Neomza, but I just felt like I should say the spelling because
No, I'll drop her handle down too, so you can find her.
She's really awesome, I think. But yeah, those are some people, and of course Iggy. Love Iggy.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that one day.
Love her. Want to do that. Actually, when I met her, I had her record a couple words into my phone as like a little thing I wanted to put in a song.
That would be cool.
And she kind of said like, "Hey Cassidy, I love you and keep following your dreams." And I want to, insert that into a song, but it has to be the right song.
Yeah.
I don't want to just put it in any song. And I've had it for like in my phone, held on to it for like 2 years. So
you've met her more than once?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
The first time I actually had dressed up as her for Halloween and tweeted her, and she saw it and retweeted it and was like, "I love this." And I had never seen her perform live, so I went to a club in Atlantic City to watch her perform.
Ooh, that's cool.
And that night, actually, it was like, if you dress up as Iggy, you can get in for free. Well, I already bought tickets, but I was like, I have a costume. I'm going to dress up anyways.
Pop it back out. Let's go.
Let's do it. And it wasn't like anything crazy. It was just like a jumpsuit type thing. I don't know. But when I went, she recognized the outfit from Twitter.
That's amazing.
Like, I was like right in the front, but she was like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you." And then she stopped the show and was like, "I wore this outfit in a music video that never, ended up getting released. It got leaked and, all this stuff. But I wasn't going to perform the song tonight, but I feel like I have to now because this girl's here with this outfit."
Yes.
And so she brought me on stage, and that was really cool. And then when I had met her at a meet and greet the second time, I reminded her like of the situation. She's like, "Oh, I remember you." And
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. Just the fact that she remembered you by seeing you. That's kind of cool.
And the first thing she actually asked me when I went there was, "Are you a makeup artist? Your makeup looks really good." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like
best compliment ever.
I should have been like, "No, do you need one?" Or I should have been like, "Yeah, do you need one?"
Thinking back on conversations.
I know
like
at the time I was just like, "No, I'm a teacher." At the time.
DM
I was
her
like,
today.
I know. She follows me on TikTok. I should DM her.
Oh,
but
that's okay. So yeah, you were very humble on the Iggy relationship.
I love her.
I said Iggy.
And she's just like a genuinely nice person. Like I just I've always gotten good vibes from her. But
Yeah.
I think it's always important to support people that are also nice people.
She's a good person throughout. She did just post like those photos of her and her son, and they were playing tennis, and I was like, oh, this is cute. Because at the end of the day, she can separate who she is as an artist and who she is as like a person and a mother. And I think that it's smart to draw the line between the two and still make sure you're giving your time in both lanes, which is nice.
Yeah. Love everything she's doing. But yeah, those are some people right now that I currently, listen to the most and that inspire me a lot, that I kind of have on repeat a lot of the time. But yeah.
Those would be cool. I'm excited to kind of see what happens in the future. If people wanted to find you on social media, what are your handles? Where can they find you? What are you most active on?
As far as social media, I use Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I use everything, but most active on Instagram, I think. My handle is Cassidy Harris _. Twitter, I believe it's the same thing. I don't really promote as much on Twitter, but
I'll drop your
I'm
handles,
on TikTok. Though. I think TikTok is just Cassidy Harris by itself. Yeah, we can link the handles in there. But
perfect.
But yeah, I just hopefully continue to make more stuff, a variety of stuff. That's my goal. I've listened to everything. I like everything.
And if you can find inspiration from all forms of music, why not create all forms of music? I think it's always smart. The more options, the better. It adds to your kind of catalog and can really just make you a more well-rounded artist overall.
Definitely. I remember being on MySpace and even just like listening to like Screamo and stuff. Like I just have gone through every single phase of, I don't know, every single music phase. It's just, I think it's cool to have a diverse music taste.
MySpace playlist. Mine was always out there. I had the wildest songs on there.
Same.
But no, I get that.
And like there's songs that I like remember having that I could never find today, and I'm like, they were only on MySpace. Like, I wish.
The good thing is like I used to buy most of those songs and put them on to my iTunes account, so I still have some. But yeah, there's so many like good songs from that era that just slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
Never to be found again.
I know. R.I.P. Sad.
Right, exactly. Before we wrap up, though, do you have any shout-outs? Anyone you want to shout out or anything?
Yes. Shout out to Xavier Bennett. That's, my homie, makes all my music, helps me out. I appreciate you. Shout out to Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip for always having me perform live with them at any shows they do, and your family. So love you guys. Shout out to Dan Youngcap, who always invites me to shows. And shout out to my friend Christian. He tries to help me out making music as well. And anybody who wants to collaborate, I'm always down. Just hit me up with a message and we can talk about it, work something out. So
love that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, and shout out to all my supporters, family, mom and dad, sisters. Love you guys. And just all my friends that, continue to show me support. And are there for me throughout this journey. So
it's exciting.
And thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely.
First podcast. So excited.
I know. It'll be cool because I'm sure once you kind of get used to it, a lot of people are going to see this and probably want to ask you on, which I hope so. I hope it opens up some potential new opportunities for you. And obviously, like she said, if you guys want to collaborate, if you just want to follow, I'll drop all the handles below. Make sure you do that. Other than that, I do appreciate you coming on. This was fun.
Thank you for having me.
We've been talking about this for a while, so it is nice to kind of see it come together, and we did it.
Yeah,
so,
thank you. I really had fun. That was a good time.
Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this episode and this channel. We'll see you very soon.